welcome to Instagram Live. Thank you guys for coming on. We have a great guest today, Lolo Bosworth, and she is a real Renaissance woman and can't wait to speak to her. Guys, remember we are raising money for the Equal Justice Initiative, so thank you every dollar that you give. I will also donate. And what else do I have to tell you? I want to tell you this. Go to the link in bio so that way you can opt in for email updates so you'll know who we're working out with, when we're working out, and when we're having our chats, etc. We've had some great chats this week. I really enjoyed our Wimbledon chat. We had Victor Cruz last week. That was transformative. I can't wait to chat to Lolo. And there's just so much. And now make sure you check out our Spotify playlist so you can get moving and get rocking and just feel good. And also remember you can use the code Coach Venus for 20% off. Coach Venus. Hi everyone. Let's give some shout outs to everybody. So we can just say hi, who's here. So one of my favorite times, shout out time. Joe Keith 12, what up? VK Graphics 01, Stojanov Ivan 01. Hello. Michelle XOXOXO. Nice to see you. Guys, thank you. And Lolo's here. So just let her on and say hi. I'm so happy to have her. Someone's like, I love your razors. Those aren't actually mine. Hi, how are you?
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing
So
well.
good. Thank you for coming on. I'm just like
I'm
backing up. I'm having a bad hair day, so this is
I love your hat.
Up
I have that hat in white. You sent it to me, and I'm wearing your 11 Venus sunscreen today, and it is fabulous.
Thank you. I'm so glad you like it. It's perfect too. Summer and winter. There's a lot of sun in the winter, a lot of places. Where are you now?
I am in New York. Where are you? Florida?
I'm in Florida. Yeah, I'm in Florida. Let me turn the comments off so you can see your beautiful face.
Okay, so I first want to know, and also I'm so excited. My phone has been blowing up like crazy today. With questions for you. People are very excited in my universe, and I'm equally excited. I've been such a fan of yours since I was a little girl, and you're like such an inspiration to so many people. And today, 20 years to the day on your amazing Wimbledon win, so that is so exciting.
Oh my God, yeah, it's crazy how time flies, huh? Yeah, I mean, 20 years, at that moment in time, you're not thinking about the next 20 years, but it's been a good 20, so thank you.
Yeah, I understand. Did you wake up like feeling any certain way today?
No, I woke up real early so I could get the gym. Yeah, so I'm working on, strengthening, my body and get myself where I can so we can get back to doing what we need to do. But yeah, so first thing. So I'm sorry we aren't working out today, but I hope you'll come back to work out. Yeah, I'm just taking it easy on my body now. So
I know. I heard. I was looking forward to our workout, but it's okay because I have many questions for you if you're open to that.
Yes. I thought you'd never ask.
I want to talk about you. I want to talk about your amazing business endeavors.
I'm calling you Lolo. Is that okay?
Yes.
Sorry, I keep calling you Lolo, and I don't know. It's just
you may call me whatever you want to call me.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be here. My entire team is like slacking me nonstop right now. We were waiting for you to come on. We were like, where is she? Where is she? We're so excited. So I know that I asked you, did you feel any different way when you woke up today? But I actually have sort of like an alternative question. And what is the very first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? Do you have like a routine?
I press snooze. I press snooze.
You press snooze.
Oh my! I'm not a morning person, so my alarm goes off, and I have to set my alarm in enough time that I can at least press snooze twice, at least, and that way it won't make me too late in the day. But I'm a night person. I love the night, and the morning's always a little challenging. But the first thing I think about is getting better at tennis. I got to be honest. Even if I'm not going on the court that day, it's about getting better. And it's almost an anxiety, actually. It's like, I have to train, or I've got to train tomorrow, or I've got to get better. And I don't know, what's your first thing you do in the morning?
Honestly, I typically wake up with anxiety also, just thoughts about what I have to do that day or the state of the world. But
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you. I don't wake up with feelings of like calm peace most days. It's something that I actually have been working on for a really long time, sort of like
Right.
how to find peace within my body. But I've also had sort of a troubled relationship with sleep since I was little, falling asleep, waking up too early in the morning, and it makes me just anxious to sort of realize that I'm awake actually. And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm awake. I should still be sleeping. So oftentimes in the morning, I will do some deep breathing exercises or
Mhm.
meditation to try to align myself for the day. But more often than not, I wake up and I work out first thing in the morning, or else I don't really get it done. Like
Yeah.
today, I woke up and I had some errands to run, and then I was on calls with my team all day. And
Yeah.
now it's 5 o'clock and I haven't exercised, and I'm probably not going to today.
What time do your calls end?
Well, since we've been at home, our calls end at about 5 or 6 every day. Um, but we have established a really good sort of work from home schedule where we start at 9 a.m. most days, 10 a.m. one day a week. But there's many of us, so we have to stick to like a very controlled schedule to a certain degree. But it's been okay. I was in the city yesterday and I saw some people on my team, and I had meetings for the first time since March, and
That's
like
amazing.
in person meetings. And I was walking around the city and I had my mask on, and even though it feels really different in New York City right now, and we're still sort of like devastated by everything that has happened, it just was really exciting to have something to do. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I understand
yeah,
because we do want to get back to that life that we didn't know was so good, you know? That we
yes,
didn't know was so good. It's good though that you guys keep a great work-life balance. It's not easy to do.
yeah.
Especially with, an emerging company, entrepreneurial. That's amazing that you've achieved that work-life balance. I'm actually at work now. I think everyone's leaving. Yeah, they're leaving.
Hi, everybody who works at Venus's company.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about 11 by Venus. Is it called 11 because like you want to do a 10 out of 10 job, but you're going to do an 11 out of 10 job
Yes,
every day?
yes, you understand. You read my mind. See,
I
mine
got
is
it.
like way, but it is about that. And we have this philosophy at 11, and it's about being better, not best, because best was a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 years ago, I won Wimbledon. I was the best person at that tournament. But
Yeah.
then there were 20 more tournaments since then. And I didn't win all 20 of those. So it's a moment, and we always have to be working towards better. And also, we really emphasize wellness just very much like you do. And
Yep.
that in order to kind of be on that better ascent and to reach your goals, you have to be well. So you have to be well, and it can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go get on this elliptical or do this.
Yeah.
And it's got to be more than that. It's got to be how you're taking care of yourself, self-care. It's got to be how you're taking care of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many different things. How you're taking care of your relationships. So being well is 360. So that's what 11 is about.
I love the meaning behind that. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was, how have you managed to continue to work so hard at your tennis career and then start all these other businesses too? I think what you just said about being better, not best, is a very interesting sort of like emotional and psychological aspect to
Right.
continuity and to being able to continue to sort of push forward every single day. And there's a new challenge to look forward to. But I'm so impressed by people, whatever career it is, like you're this amazing athlete and you have these cool businesses now. Like, how have you managed to stick with it for so long? You must just have amazing resilience and patience too
With,
for yourself.
with the tennis or
Yeah,
I love it. I'm a tennis player in my heart.
yeah.
That's why I wake up in the morning and that's all I think about. And it takes me at least a month to stop thinking about tennis. And
Wow.
by that time, it's time to start again. At the end of the year, I usually try to take, if I can, 6 weeks off of the court. Usually it's more like 5. I can stretch it. But it takes pretty much that whole time to stop thinking, I got to get on the court. Why am I not getting better? And like this, feeling. And it's who I am. And also at 11, for us, the rule is do something you love, because then that's when you can actually be great. That's when you can have a passion, something you're excited about, and that's how you keep getting up in the morning and like getting that blood, sweat, and tears. But the blood, sweat, and tears is because you love it. And I think you're doing the same thing quite every day.
Yeah, for me, my background is interesting. I was on a TV show when I was really young, and it changed my life forever. And to be honest with you, I had a pretty like negative emotional relationship with my past for a long time, because frankly, like, I watch reality TV shows and I'm like, LOL, reality TV person. So I just have to imagine that that is what people thought about me for a really long time. And I have sort of been trying to make peace with it for years. And I think that, when the show ended so many years ago, I've been trying to convince myself first, and then other people, that, I'm smart, that I have good ideas, that I can contribute something to the world. And so in many ways, that's what I've been trying to do for a really long time. But I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit that runs through me. And I've always, created content, monetized my own brand and business. And at Love Wellness now, we make clean personal care products for women. I started it back in 2016. And what we have been able to do is essentially reinvent a category, which is so exciting. And so the innovation that we have been able to bring out into the world, and how we've been able to change women's lives and educate them and give them these like aha moments about how they feel about their body and how they treat their bodies is so exciting to me. Because a few years ago, I wasn't well. I was suffering from really severe vitamin deficiencies.
Wow.
I was depressed and anxious, and I was at the doctor all the time, and I didn't know for a really long time what was wrong. And so I sort of think of it as like a glass of water, and like the glass can only hold so much water, and then it starts to overflow. And when it starts to overflow, like, that's stress, that's depression, that's anxiety, that's all these neurological issues that you're dealing with, dizziness, whatever it is. And for me, it took a really long time to kind of navigate that path. And I know that you have your own sort of health and wellness journey with your Sjogren's, which is so interesting. My cousin has Sjogren's also, and she's been dealing with it for a few years now. And so, for me, it's just something that I'm really passionate about, because I was able to truly transform my life and heal my body just by learning about a category, learning about clean ingredients, learning about diet and nutrition, and how to actually take care of your body.
Yeah.
Because like, we have been suffering under the weight of a devastating food system in the United States for decades. Processed food, antibiotics in our food. It's crazy what food is doing to us. And so to be able to sort of have that light bulb turn on and make specific changes in my life and try to create change for other people is just really exciting for me. And I'm just so happy to do it every day. And it's like, it's fun. We have this team. We're in New York. It just feels very exciting that we are, blessed enough to be able to do it.
That is so exciting. And honestly, I love that you said you want to give back to the community. And that's the only thing that you should ever focus on, because your life is yours. You get to do what you want with it. Who cares what anybody else says? They can go wherever with it. So, bye-bye. And what you're doing is amazing. And it shows what a big heart you have too, that you actually care what other people think. And especially when you're doing so many positive things with your life already, and then you still want to make sure other people are comfortable. You're very giving, wonderful spirit about you. So
thank you. That's very
nice. A lot of people could learn from that. And also I feel like, I don't know how your cousin's doing. How is he?
My female cousin, she's okay. She has, been doing different therapies, and I think some things help more than others. I think a very specific diet helps. Sometimes she does like infrared saunas and things like that, which are really helpful. But like, what has really worked for you? Like, is it diet?
Yeah,
Is it
I would
lifestyle?
definitely say the first thing is attitude.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't accept Sjogren's. It may want to be around, but I don't accept it, and
Yeah.
we're gonna box. We just like boom, Sjogren's. We both take punches, but I'm never gonna back down. So I think that the attitude's the first thing, and also I feel that you have to find out what works with you, and you can never stop trying. And I feel like also you have to try both ends. You have to see your doctor, but also natural medicine as well. And I definitely try both. I've always wanted an infrared sauna in my house. I've never achieved that goal. One day, God willing, I will.
Do
A
it.
gluten-free
Do it.
diet,
I'll send you a link on
right?
Amazon.
Just put it in your living room.
Do it.
It's like I don't sit and watch TV, but in my infrared sauna.
There's these infrared sauna bags that you can get.
Really?
Yes.
Can you send me the link? Oh my God.
Yes.
Can I
They're
travel
like
with
these
that?
like sleeping bag things that you get into, and they are like infrared saunas, and you can watch TV in your sauna sleeping bag now.
Sold to the fool with the credit card.
I know.
Because I have like a bio mat on my bed, and it's got like the crystals, but I can't travel with that. I want to get the bio belt. I had one and I cannot find it in my house. I keep looking because I don't want to get another one.
Wait, what
And
is a bio belt? It has crystals on
it
it?
has the crystals on it too. So you can get
Oh, okay.
belts that you can like travel with the crystals. And not everyone's into this, but for those of us who are and do find the value in it, those are amazing. And so maybe she could try those. I do find a gluten-free diet has almost eliminated my joint pain.
That's amazing.
So as long as I stay on it, it takes a while to get used to it. It took me a long time to stop cheating so much. I still cheat. But yeah, so those are, and also checking your iron levels. Sometimes iron infusions can really be a big boost for you. But it's
Oh,
just different. So yeah, we could go on and on about what you can try on Sjogren's. Not
hell
too much
yeah, you
alcohol.
the list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not too,
That's really insightful. I will share all
yeah.
this with her. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so I have a question
Hmm.
because this is something that I personally have sort of been trying to work through for years, as
Right.
I'm sure many people are as well. But how do you deal with setbacks and negative self-talk? Do you have a method, or are you like me and you're just also working on it?
Yeah, I think everyone, well, I don't know if everyone does. I think everyone has a form of negative self-talk.
Yeah.
And I think for me, on the court, some of that can be if you haven't maybe been succeeding at one thing for a while. So if you've been missing your backhand for a while, then that negative, without even realizing it's there. And so my method is you got actually takes active work to eliminate it. It doesn't just happen by chance. So stopping that negative self-talk at that moment and then practicing the positive talk before I even walk on the court. So yeah, it does take time and effort. And we sometimes we get to a negative place and we're like, how did I get here? And then you're like, I want to get out. And you want to get out that moment, but you have to accept that it's going to actually take me a few moments to get out. I say that it takes 6 weeks.
Mm.
6 weeks before you really start to see some results, and then from there you start to rock it with that. And in business, also, as you things don't always work out. Product doesn't work. People don't perceive it the way maybe you thought it would. Your employees may not be thriving at that moment. You've got to make changes. All those different things happen, and it can put you in a place where you're like, oh boy, will we succeed?
Yeah.
So that's even harder because you're dealing with variables out of your control. At least on the court, hopefully you can control yourself. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. But so that's also when I think mentorship is super important, to have those mentors that you can rely upon, so that way it's not by yourself. Because a lot of times when you are the boss, nobody comes up to you and says, good job, you're doing a great job, and you did that great. Remember that initiative you started and how well it went? And no one does that. So you kind of have to have those set of people that do that for you. And I don't know if you find that as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think for me, one of the things that I deal with is like being brave enough or willing enough to actually pick up the phone and be like, hey, I have this thing I need to talk to you about. At least when it comes to mentors and people that can provide me with guidance, I tend to sort of like sit and stew with it for, 3 or 4 days. But then I do always break out of that pattern and I always move forward because you have to. That's life, right? But everybody sort of processes that stuff differently. But okay, so this leads me to another question.
Because I have questions for you too.
You do?
Yeah.
Questions I have for you.
Oh, I feel like Kevin from Home Alone.
Truly, the Slack was like bing, 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 earlier when we were like, we're going live with Venus tonight. Everyone was extremely excited because you were.
So are you just a very like organized and positive? I'm just like a type A person.
Generally, my dad and mom would say that I'm hurricane low and I like leave everything a mess behind me. But as I have gotten older, I have really learned how valuable sort of a type A personality can be, and especially when it comes to work. Really type A, we have many methods. We're very organized, and we operate so much more efficiently because of it. We have a system that sort of the company operates within, team wide, and we find it to be really effective. I would say more than anything, like outside of just sort of a type A work personality, I have high emotional IQ. So I'm able to sort of like read a room, understand what other people's needs are, and then make decisions really quickly based on those things that I'm seeing, and try to always make the most conscious decision, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that I am a really good decision maker, and that absolutely helps supplement sort of that like type A work mentality.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I'm very emotionally there. And I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's because I just see things in black and white and I go with the logical, and it's like, well, is this right or wrong? And if not, and I don't have the emotion. So I'm working on that other side. I do care, so I do ask people how they are. I do care,
Yeah.
but sometimes I don't always notice some emotion unless it's really readable. I don't always notice it, and I may never, but at least I know that I might not. So.
Well, I think that being a logical thinker can be really beneficial, especially in a business setting, because you're truly able to take the emotion out of decision making, and that can influence people in a negative or harmful way, I think, a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Something I've gotten really good at is like if I'm upset, truly taking a minute and actually removing myself and being like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this. You know, so that is certainly helpful as well.
Agreed. So how have you gathered your leadership skills? Because it's not easy all of a sudden to be a leader, and then you're dealing with lots of different personalities, lots of different decisions. How have you groomed yourself to be ready for that?
I think for me, I try to develop and maintain close relationships with everybody on my team. And I am a person that is willing to open up emotionally and tell somebody, how I'm doing. And I think that once you are willing to be vulnerable to a certain degree, people are willing to become vulnerable with you, and you can sort of develop bonds pretty quickly, in those moments. And I think in a work setting, yes, like they're my team and it's still like a employer-employee relationship, but we spend so much time together that these people are truly family. I see these people and spend more time with these people than anybody else in my life. And so I think just acknowledging that you play an important role for each other is really critical. And I think that once your team can trust you in like a meaningful way, that goes really far when it comes to team building.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I completely agree. And it takes time. And also, I feel like a shared set of values is one thing that really just becomes a North Star. That if you've got those, then even if there is some sort of disagreement or people are seeing things differently, then we just talk about, well, those are our values. So you've got to align towards that. You have got to align. So, well, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I feel like Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that.
Run, Forrest, run.
Run! Oh my gosh, one of my favorite movies.
Same. One of the best movies of all time.
So you mentioned that you didn't get your workout in today, and that's my fault. I'll big blame.
God, Venus, it's your fault.
Big blame. It's my fault. What do you normally do? Like, what's your kind of go-to workout? How do you move your body?
Yes. So I really love two different workouts. One is the class by Taryn Toomey. It's an interesting method. She's based in New York City, and it's sort of a combination of cardio, strength training, meditation, jumping around, and yelling. And I know that
sounds awesome.
A little out there, but it's so fun. And she went digital right before COVID hit in March. So she has an amazing online platform, and they go live many times throughout the day. So the class is interesting. Typically, you do the same movement for an entire song. So like squats for an entire song, or burpees for an entire song, or you just like wiggle your body for an entire song. And it's really fun. It allows you to sort of, they try to teach you how to overcome the thoughts about physical discomfort to get you to sort of be able to produce better results, or like kind of go further with it without injury. Do you know what I mean? Like if you can't do it, or you have to stop, no big deal. But typically there's so much more in us than we realize. And it's like that negative self-talk, like, oh, like my buns are burning right now, I got to stop doing this. And it's really, you're just talking to yourself. It may not be the reality of the situation. So I love that workout. And then the other thing that I like to do is the Legree Method. So it's a type of Pilates. In New York, there's a studio called SLT. And it's basically like a modified reformer machine. And it's a really intense form of cardio Pilates. And so there's two platforms on either end, and then a thing in the middle that moves like on springs, so you can change the weight. Yeah. And so you can just do the craziest moves. And it's a really wonderful total body workout, but the focus is on abdominals. And it's all just strength training, and it's wonderful. I just got this machine called the Micro Legree, I think it's called. So they developed an at-home machine finally, and it like rolls under the bed, and it is awesome because I haven't been able to go to the studio for months, and I'm like finally getting that ab burn that I really want. Only achievable on this machine.
Wow. Amazing. So you have to send me links to all these also, because I love trying new workouts. I learn from them and I adopt them and take different parts, and it becomes like this big conglomeration. But obviously I feel like I've done so much working out, so when I learn something new, it's exhilarating. So
do you work with a trainer, or like do you run your own workouts at this point? Are you your own trainer?
Especially during COVID, I run my own workouts, and I have a physio, and she can help me run my workouts. I don't keep a dedicated trainer. I do have a trainer in Gardens, and he's tough. He's really tough. Oh God. So thanks, Kenny.
So
what a guy.
Okay, so workouts. So when we do a workout, what kind of things will we be doing?
So when we've been doing the workouts on Instagram Live, it's been just no equipment and just anything you can find at home, because gyms were closed. I think, for example, gyms closed back up again in Miami. I don't know if they've closed in Palm Beach, but obviously Florida is being hit hard right now by COVID. Yeah. So there are some places where the gyms are still not open, where they've closed back up, or a lot of people just aren't comfortable going in. Yeah. So we've been keeping it to no equipment. No equipment. So it's been fun. Yeah. So every day I've got to think of something new. And I do research and look at other people's exercises. And then honestly, I've started making up my own now. Just kind of, I get on the floor at night and just fool around. And I'm like, oh, I like this. Let me try that.
I
So it's
love
been fun to just figure it out and just use chairs. I've been using like wine bottles, water
that.
bottles,
I've seen that.
gallon jugs, anything that works for you, towels, just keeping it pretty basic. And I think we'll do that for a while. So I don't want anyone to feel like they can't do this. And you can get a heck of a workout without anything at all.
Oh, I agree. Just your own body weight most of the time is good enough. I saw your live that you did with Anna Kaiser. She
Yeah.
is amazing. And she will kick your butt.
Yeah, that was tough too because my legs were already dead that day. So I came into it with
Then
dead
you do
legs.
that on top of it.
And
She
I
had
was
you
like,
squatted or pulsing for like 20 minutes. You're like, oh my God.
I'm like, this is so great, but it burns so bad. And she's like, all right, come forward. Go back. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
And she was 6 months pregnant and kicking my butt. She looked gorgeous, skin glowing. And I was like, okay, this woman has got some secret sauce. I don't know what it is, but so.
Yeah, she's amazing. Well, I mean, Shakira looks amazing and she trains Shakira. I did a live with Anna, gosh, a few months ago now. It was more towards the start of COVID and like literally it kicked my butt. It was one of the hardest workouts I've done in months, to be honest with you. But I love it.
I do too. And that's why we do it, right? And the one thing I noticed you said was I have fun. You're like, and we're in there and we're wiggling and we're doing like burpee. I don't know how burpees per minute are fun, but I guess you've transformed fun. Or not even a minute, like a song. So
yeah, I mean, we sometimes do burpees for like 3 minutes. It's crazy.
what if it's like one of those long house songs that last 10 minutes and you're still doing burpees?
I would no. You know, in a weird way, I ran cross country for a season or two in high school, and going uphill was always my favorite part of the runs. Like the physical challenges have always been my favorite part, and I think just in my life, you know, I tackle challenges sort of head on. So the burpees are actually, in like a super crazy way, my favorite part of Taryn Toomey.
Wow.
The trainer on the TV.
That's amazing.
They're always like, okay, guys, you know what time it is. It's burpee time. And in my mind, I'm like, yes, it's burpee time.
Wow.
I'm weird, obviously.
Yeah, but I like that though. The physical challenge is the part that you love the most. Like you aren't afraid of the challenge or the work, because to succeed in life or to try something new or different or to start a company like Love, you know, you can't be afraid of the challenges. And
yeah, you sort of have to just run at them.
yeah, like, you know, just go berserk. You're like, coming in.
Do the wiggle and scream.
Exactly. I don't mind if it's hard, but I get bored. So if it's hard and bored, but it can be hard as long as it's fast. That's why I like plyometrics, and because it's fast and you're just going into it powerfully and it's quick and it's hard, but and then I'm on to the next thing. I'm a attention span of a toddler apparently, just like my niece, just on something just for a second and then just to the next, you know.
I know you mean about the boredom thing. You know, that's why I like the class, because there's also no like counting. You don't know how long the song is, and so you sort of get out of that typical construct of exercise. Like we're gonna do 30 of these and 50 of these, and I feel like when you know how many of something you do, you can potentially set yourself up for failure, because you're like, it's like self-defeating. You're like, I can only do 15, and so at 15 you stop.
Exactly. No limit. 11. Just go
11.
Just no limit. And I think we set limits for ourselves, you know, subconsciously without knowing it, even though, and I feel like I don't want to ever set limits, but there have been times where I've walked off the court and I'm like, I don't know how I won that match. And you're thinking, and I'm thinking, I set a limit for myself unconsciously that maybe I couldn't win this match, but I actually did. And then like I went past. So it means sometimes, even though you just have to allow yourself to just fight through it and just continue to fight no matter what, even when it looks bleak. And then that's how you get there, because no matter the circumstances, you're going to give this gargantuan effort. And I do like that about this class. So I got to try it.
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's interesting. Like, we are capable of so much and we're all able to achieve greatness, but we have this consciousness that gets in the way and slows us down and makes us take right turns when we should have gone left. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think about it all the time. I'm like, wow, what if we were really just animals? We didn't have these like weird brains that make us, feel and love and, you know, see the world in a certain way, you know?
exactly, exactly. I completely agree. I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're very like-minded. I gotta say,
Same.
so much in common.
I have to say, I was so nervous. I kept telling people, I was like, I feel like I'm going on the most exciting first blind date of my whole life right now with Venus Williams.
I would have wore something nice if I'd have known I'm on a date. Hold on, I'm in the office. Let me get an outfit.
No, it's
I'm,
okay.
I'm always running around all day, so I needed to come in and I just kind of skid it in and like did what I need to do and like come on real fast. But
I understand. When
yeah,
we're in the office, typically I come in my workout gear. I'm not dressed that often. I have makeup that I keep in the office for things like Instagram lives.
yeah.
When my assistant's like, we need you to do these 8 videos today. I'm like, all right, let me go to the makeup counter and put on my stuff. Otherwise, I feel like I am pretty much just like a wake up and go kind of person for the most part.
Yeah, you gotta always be prepared though. I agree with you because sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna bring my computer just in case. I'm gonna bring this, and it always comes in handy.
Yeah.
So I probably need a car kit because living in the suburbs, you need if it's always in your car, you've always got it. So I
But
like,
it's too hot in Florida. I feel like everything would melt.
well, that's why you stay inside.
I know, but like you can't keep your
Well,
car in your
I
car and expect
practice
your makeup
outside, so
like,
what am I
to be
talking about?
perfect.
Yeah, I gotta get out of Florida in the summer. It is white hot here. It's like, I think at any point in time, the state could just catch fire from how hot it is now. The whole
I,
state will just, be burning.
it's hot in New York too. I think it's like been 90 degrees every day, been humid. Not like Florida. Like I get it, it's different, but
Yeah,
it's
it's definitely different. So, what kind of advice do you have for those starting a business? Because you've experienced so much success and had such an amazing idea and serving women in a way they've never been served before, or we have never been served before. What's your advice for those who want to be like you?
I would say that storytelling and your narrative is a really critical part to brand building that a lot of new entrepreneurs kind of pass over or think is like secondary or tertiary in terms of the list of what's really important. And listen, like the baseline foundation on how you build your business is critical, of course, your financials, your logistics, whatever it is. But once you make something, you have to convince people that they want it. And so I think it's really important that you spend just as much time focusing on your storytelling efforts and your thought leadership as much as you do on sort of the behind the scenes elements that are required to build a business. Because at this point, there's 5 million Shopify stores out there. You know what I mean? Everybody is selling something. And so you have to figure out what is your differentiating factor, what makes you unique. And you can typically accomplish that through really innovative storytelling. I know that that's like a kind of not like untraditional answer. Most people would be like, don't quit your job until you're making money with your new business or whatever. But I sort of like to think about it in a different way, and like if you can feel emotional about what it is that you're building or selling and you can communicate that effectively, then you will have a product or business idea or whatever it is that is well received, that's received in the way that you intend it to be received.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And speaking of businesses, what's your favorite product in your own line?
Oh gosh. Well, we have 3 new products coming out in August. I'm not allowed to say what they are. Our publicist would kill me. Everybody would kill me. But those I think are
So those
soon
are
to
now
become,
your favorites, but you
those
can't.
are soon to become my favorites. But in the existing line, so we make really issue specific targeted solutions for women. So if you're dealing with something, we most likely have a solution for it that's like innovative, clean, formulated by a doctor, all the good stuff. So one of my favorites is a product called Good Girl Probiotics. So it's a probiotic that is specifically made for women's health. So it supports vaginal tract health and urinary tract health. So if you get urinary tract infections or BV or yeast infections, you have some kind of imbalance in your microbiome, and you need to support it by supplementing with good bacteria and with specific strains of bacteria. And Good Girl Probiotics is made with those good strains of bacteria that help to support women's health. So that was one of our very first products that we launched. And to this day, it remains one of my favorites because it's like a maintenance product. You take it every day, and I think it's actually our most subscribed to product also. I think we have the highest subscriptions on Good Girl Probiotics.
Congratulations.
So it's my favorite and a fan favorite.
Congratulations. All right. So I've got to switch my probiotic now.
Well, you don't have to. There's probiotics for different kinds of things.
So I can take two. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there's probiotics for skincare. If you have acne, there's probiotics for women's health, like what we make.
I have acne.
We can get you one. I think Home Nutrition makes a good one for skincare. There's probiotics.
All my problems. Thank you.
Yeah, there's traditional probiotics like for gut and digestion. So there's all these different probiotics because you have different microbiomes living in different parts of the body, on your skin, in your body, in your gut, in your vaginal tract. Sorry to get graphic, but like there's bacteria everywhere. And it goes back to that conversation about food. If you are eating processed food that's bad for you, food that you have an inflammatory reaction to, with tons of antibiotics in it, like most likely you have some kind of problem going on internally. And we could probably tie one of those problems back, or one of your like mystery ailments or systems, to the food lifestyle that you practice,
Right. Okay, so can I get a consultation after? Because now my mind's like spinning. I'm like, which biome should I be taking care of? I'm like, oh my God, I've been taking care of my biomes.
You do.
I've got to take care of myself. Okay, so we have to chat offline about that. And more than anything, obviously it's been COVID, and it is COVID, and it's trying to be COVID for longer. So how are you coping with that? And also, as we move forward in life, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, COVID has been a roller coaster for everybody, right? Some of my friends have stayed in the city and they've been totally fine, and they can hang tough, New York tough, on all of like the signs on the freeways in New York, that you get the funny messages on, they're reminding you to stay New York tough, wear your mask, kind of a thing. It's been a roller coaster of emotion for me. And being a business owner, there's a lot that I'm personally responsible for, and a lot of team members' lives and livelihoods that I'm personally responsible for, or at least I feel that way. And so, I have been okay. I was with my parents for almost 2 months, and that was really helpful. They helped me see the forest through the trees and the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's a time that I will cherish forever, because being an adult and being able to spend so much quality time with your family, it was just so incredible, and it really kept me going every single day. And it's fun, and my dad and I talk about it because they got to see me operating Love Wellness every day, and like it was really cool to be able to incorporate them into conversations and creative thinking strategies and things like that. But it's hard, you know what I mean? I've been single for a few months, and that has really been a challenge. And I have a lot of friends that are single right now randomly. And I would say that just not having sort of like a person in my life, like right now, to sort of share the experience with, or to sort of like at least not be alone in a house, is kind of one of the most challenging aspects of it. But apart from that, I have a really fantastic and supportive family, and I have a wonderful team that helps me get through it,
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm single too, but I like it.
Well, when you're in New York next and it's not COVID, we can go out.
When I think about getting in a relationship, I think about, man, I got to listen to someone talk.
Oh no.
It's like, oh no. And if they have a bad day, you're like, oh, but I want to watch this program. It's on right now. The game's on. I'm gonna see the game.
I love my programs. I love
I know.
programs.
So you have a lot to teach me. I have a lot to learn. I know I'm actually still growing up a lot. I think a part of athletics keeps you so youthful that sometimes in your mind you just like you don't always advance the way you should. Or maybe that's my excuse.
Well, I think, you know, you've been in the public eye for so long that, you know, you meet new people, and I think that it has to be challenging to always be somebody who is a known person, because I think you always have to qualify those relationships of new people when they come into your life, at least for me, and not on the degree that it is for you at all. But, you know, I'm always a little wary, you know what I mean? And so I think that growth or like future growth is totally normal, and like it's all just a journey, you know what I mean?
Right, right. And I think you're right. The conversations I enjoy most is when I get to have a conversation with someone I don't know at all, and it's not about tennis. I'm just a human being to them, and that just never happens. And in the rare moments it does, it's so refreshing. Because then I get to connect with people, and that's nice. And that's what I love about also being on here is like I get to connect with people and have conversations and get to know people, and that's so amazing. And not to talk about tennis. I love talking about tennis, I guess, but sometimes it's okay not to, you know. So
well, you're multidimensional, and it's just like one part of who you are in your life, right? And
exactly.
That's how everybody feels in their own way, you know. But yeah, do you get nervous before you do these lives and before you meet strangers on the internet, or are you like totally cool?
You know, I'm actually an introvert, even though I'm not presenting that way. So there is a certain amount of anxiety for me, actually, to be honest. But it's fun. And especially once I get to talking, I'm just enjoying it so much and learning. So I love that part. But yeah, I'm not really an extrovert. I'm like this person that really enjoys spending alone time. And I've got my little short dog behind me, and it's him and I, and we just chill and hang out. But I'm also sitting, and there he is.
Oh, hi, little pupper.
He's always there. He looks so exhausted, right? He's done nothing except watch me work.
It's okay, it's hot in Florida.
Yeah. He's definitely a ton of support. He's the best. He is the best. So I hope you get a workout in today.
I hope. Maybe you've inspired me after this.
I'm just saying, there's still time.
There is. Now it's only 5:52. I still have many hours. I know. You're going to start DMing me and be like, did you work out today? Did you work out today? Like, no, Venus.
And then you're going to block me. And be like,
like, this user does not exist.
Like, after you've gone out with someone and they block you, that's like, you know, you won the battle, right?
You know, I think only a few people have ever blocked me in my time. But it is, I always kind of laugh when I realize I've been blocked. I'm like, wow, I've really got on your skin.
All right.
What did I do?
Bye-bye now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious, personally. Is that bad?
No, I think everyone has a giggle when they realize they've been blocked by somebody, and like that's not like the nicest thing to say, obviously. But listen, everybody likes to have a laugh sometimes. It's just who we are as humans.
I agree.
We need laughs right now.
Yeah, if you can laugh at being blocked, I think some people take it a little seriously, and if you're being blocked, it's probably for the best. So
yeah, I think so. I don't really mind at this point in my life. I'm like, okay, moving forward. Doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been so much fun. So much fun.
I know. Let's work out when you're feeling up to it.
Thank you. Let's please.
I would love it. We can do like we could do a combo of all the things that you want to do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's definitely do part 2 because I still feel like I'm to blame. So if you don't get that workout in, it's just blame me today.
I understand. It's okay. And I see at the bottom, and I see that you've been doing it this at the beginning of all your lives, but you have donations at
Yeah.
the bottom for the Equal Justice Initiative. So please,
Yeah.
everybody, if you are tuning in, donate. I know that it is something that is near and dear to Venus's heart and mine as well. So if you can contribute, that would be great.
Thank you. Yes. And I'm matching every donation. So if you
I
give,
I tried to donate right at the beginning, but then I was worried that it would ruin the live connection, and I was like, oh no. So I'm gonna do it right at the end.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because it is so important. And we're, as a world, we're working our way towards there. And just recognizing that we do have an issue and that we do need to be aware of it. And by donating, it makes a world difference.
Yeah. I think maybe one last question that I have for you just before we sign off. How can allies be the best support to Black women right now? Like, what are you looking for more than anything else?
What are Black women looking for more than anything else? I think part of it is happening now, to be heard, because there was a time where it was impossible to be heard. And I think a really good example of that is Colin Kaepernick, where he had something to say and the whole world said, no, you're wrong. And no, you don't have the right to express that. So part of it is to be heard, and also to have a dialogue, just for people to know that maybe I won't understand what you're going through because it has never happened to me and it never will.
Mm-hmm.
I may not understand it, but I'm going to be open to it and acknowledge that it exists. And I think part of that, and also self-awareness for people to recognize their own personal biases that they may not have even known that they've had, but to be open to it and be aware of it. And then also to reach out and support. And how I like to support is at the grassroots level for young people, to help them to raise up and be strong and be excellent. And that I'm very passionate about. And just to find out where your passion is, where you'd like to support, and how you can support Black women, but also for equality. So something as simple as donating, something as simple as opening up your mind, those things all go a long way.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for asking that. Thank you for being open to just find out. I mean, everyone has a different answer. If you asked 100 people that have a different answer, but being able to speak gives you the opportunity to have change. And that's what we're doing now, is having a dialogue about it. And also, I wasn't raised to see color. I was raised to know who I was, and especially in America, that people would see me for my color. But the last thing I want is for us to start seeing our differences and seeing that we're different colors. This is not what I want from this, but what I want is for people to one day, hopefully, not have to see it.
I understand. Thank you. That's really powerful. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for asking. You're amazing.
Of course. I
can't wait to meet you in person. I really can't wait to meet you in person. So I'll be in New York, actually, fingers crossed, for the US Open.
Okay.
And we can totally meet. We'll have to social distance, but we can meet and have coffee outside. I really can't wait. So let's do that.
All right. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right.
Meet
you. Take care.
Bye.
Be well. Bye. Oh man, my phone dropped. Thank you so much, Lo. I've got to stop calling you Lolo. I don't feel so comfortable calling you Lolo, but thank you so much for being on. She's just like a bubble of energy, a natural entrepreneur, a real leader, everything that a strong person should be. And obviously a strong woman makes it just wow. So we are gonna meet up, I hope. And she's also donating to the Equal Justice Initiative. I'm so excited. And I just want to give some shout outs to those who did donate. And that's Amira Holistic Healing. Hi, I'm going to give you a wave. Shariri, I think I'm saying that right. Inspired Educator. L. Davis, 8391. Shakarita. Oh, hi. Tanya, always donating. Thank you. Top TMG, one of my best friends in this world. Jason P. Wilson, Chucks, give zero. Can't say that last word, but he don't care. Jeru Empress. Minonel. Hi, Dr. Joey, that's who. Okay, I feel you. There she is. Beautiful. Thank you. Emma Gilchrist. Saren says, I see we have people who have done it more than once. Thank you. Ted Sharon, thank you. Sydney Winkler. Oh, hi, La Rouge '07. Thank you. That's our very own Lily Rouget, who just has, the biggest heart in the world. Uh, bad, bad and blonde. Um, yeah, got that. So, L 66 and House of Adobo. So I think I got away from it. Four just gave us an oh, I'm not sure. Ali Hirni. I'm sorry, I can't get all of them right. It's just when there's no spaces too, and it's really tiny, it makes it a little bit harder. So, guys, thank you so much. Usually I do a Q&A after, but we had a wonderful, long and robust one, and I'm on a little bit of a tight schedule as I'm getting ready to leave town to go play. So I'm going to go see my dad right now and make sure I give him some love and attention. And what else am I going to do? Yeah, give dad love and start getting packed today. It's a little snapshot into my life. So other than that, guys, make sure you go to my link in bio so you can opt in for email updates so you'll know who we're talking to, especially as I return to play. Fingers crossed we'll be able to keep this play schedule that's been issued, especially as we return to play. You're going to definitely have to keep updated because it'll be a little bit different when we're working out. It won't necessarily be our traditional Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays that we've been doing. Okay, so with that being said, go to the link in bio, get email updates. You guys, thank you so much, Lolo. Thank you so much for coming on, and I can't wait for us to work out together. You guys go ahead and be well. See you soon. See you next week.